What is going on, y'all? Just when I think this week couldn't get any more crazier as far as wrestling related news goes, we get hit with another one. What is up, good guy people? Lee Sanders here, 401mania.com reporter and columnist. And man, here we are with some breaking news for this Wednesday, still early afternoon of December 14th, 2022. We are now just like, what, a week and a half or something like that away from Christmas. And sadly, one wrestler is finding themselves without a job right now. And that is one Mandy Rose, the 32-year-old former NXT Women's Champion. We just saw her a little bit over 24 hours ago lose the NXT Championship shockingly to the 21-year-old Roxanne Perez. And honestly, many of us were going into that episode going, oh, this match is happening? Yeah, Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose, they easily got this. Ain't tripping over this. And then the shocking finish to that had sent social media in a little bit of a frenzy to some extent, as majority of fans kind of looked at what was going on, and it really depends on how you wanted to look at it. You just go back and look at the respective timeline. You had those that felt, well, man, finally, now we're going to see all three members of Toxic Attraction make their way to the main roster. This is something that fans have been clamoring for months now, okay? Right down to the point, it is painful to see what's been going on with Bailey, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, the Damage Control stable. Many folks, including myself, have been very vocal in saying, look, not down with the Damage Control, but yo, that Toxic Attraction, you put that on Monday nights. Oh man, especially if you put it on past the 10 o'clock hour, once the kids are in the bed, oh, you're going to have some good viewership and some good stuff to talk about on Social Line, let me tell you. So a little bit more than 24 hours after seeing Mandy Rose lose the championship, we now see that WWE has gone on ahead and released this young woman. And it's interesting because, and if anybody wants to go and find this, go ahead. But from everything that I'm seeing right now, there is no statement just yet from WWE where they are confirming, in fact, that Mandy Rose has been released by WWE. Now, normally you get the standardized message that, WWE, we wish this person, blah, 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 and they usually will call them by their ring name. Very seldom they'll call them by their actual real name, although as of late, We've been seeing that come about in parentheses, but we haven't seen that goodwill statement just yet. We probably, honestly, won't see that goodwill statement from WWE. If anything, WWE is 9 times out of 10 just going to say, yes, the reports are true. We have, in fact, released blah, blah, blah from said contract. Okay, and I would not be surprised if before the night is out, WWE does reach back out, because we got to give credit where credit is due, and that's to the good kind of people over there at FIFO. They pretty much were, if not the first, among the first to reveal that she was released by WWE. So what happened? Many of you guys are saying to yourselves, what the hell happened? There's a lot of speculation floating around in the air, but yeah, I did not think, let me rephrase that. It crossed my mind when we were here Tuesday night, because I definitely recall seeing the raunchy photos in question from over the weekend. There were a lot of people that were flapping their gums, talking a whole lot of game, but nobody was showing the footage out in the open on social media, which I thought was really weird, because normally if there's any type of a photo video leak from said wrestler in question, you're usually able to see it in just no time. From the time that the chatter first comes about, like an hour tops. And this was a case where when I was going into the weekend and I was hearing the chatter, I'm going, well, there's nothing that's materialized. What the hell is going on here? And finally, one of my amigos, supporters of the shows, they said, Lee, I think this is what people are talking about here. Check this out. You know, it is what it is. And I saw just some of what I saw were photos. And if you want to call it, borderline X-rated content, if you want to look at it as, see, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Because on the one hand, you can look at that content and you can look at it as X-rated. But then on the other hand, you can look at the content and you can say, nah, that is R-rated. And the content that I was seeing was her showing off her rear end. She would always be holding on to her breast. There were a couple of videos that was out there as well. And look, you just know a female wrestler's body after you've seen them in the ring doing their nice extravagant entrance so many times. You know, okay? Only thing that was missing from a lot of these videos was just her popping up in front of the camera and showing her face. Now, if it turns out she has more content like that and she is showing her face, I don't know nothing about it. I'm only telling you the series of content that I was personally able to see. And no, do not ask me for no freaking link, okay? Don't ask me for no link. But from what I saw, it is borderline X-rated to R-rated. That is without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I think where it really got, okay, this is a bit, we're really pushing the boundaries here. We're really crossing the line. She was posting content with her fiance. And I did see a couple of still shots of that. It would appear as though they were in the shower. You didn't see any, we talked about this on Tuesday night, but just to reiterate it, because now she's been released and, we're all trying to make sense out of what the hell happened here. Some of that content that I did see of them in the shower, his face not showing, her face not showing. Once again, she's covering up her boobs. Looks as though they are in a shower. How they were able to get everything set up in that shower, I don't know if they used a counter or what, but they took some really great shots. Fiance is behind Mandy, and he's got his hands somewhat on her hips, somewhat kind of almost on her butt, on the sides of her butt, almost like he's giving it to her doggy style, and she's just pretty much leaned up shoulder-wise against the shower wall, still holding on to her boobs. That's what's going on like the entire time of these photos that I'm seeing. I also saw a couple of photos where she had on a white type of panty lace, and it was a crotch shot basically, and you were just left to your own imagination as far as, oh my God, are those lips? I think I see lips. If I'm drooling, I think I see lips, right? So what I just described to you guys vividly, so for anybody that's going to say, oh, no content, it doesn't exist, I'm telling you, I'm confirming for you just some of what's been circulating out there right now. And apparently she was posting this stuff on something called Fan Time, which she was basically charging fans $40 a month. And you know, one of the things that I thought was kind of, hey, that's kind of interesting about this Fan Time joint, she had some tier package. I don't know the conditions of it. I talked about this on Tuesday, but I don't know the conditions of it because I don't know if it was a case where if you paid her X amount of money for a booby shot of hers or 2 booby shots, basically, if you sent her a picture of your genitalia area, she would then reply back and rate your stuff. Yes, she would rate and review your stuff. So this is what she was doing, and yeah, this pretty much ultimately, you would think, I mean, you don't really need Fightful to tell you. This is a case right here where you can kind of use common sense, right? And say, well, man, if you're posting risky content like that, is it possible that you can be released by the WWE? It's okay to have that thought cross your mind. If that thought never crossed your mind because you simply just said, hey, look, sex sells. Just the art of it, the imitation of it, right? It sells. She's not really doing any harm. Don't see really what the big deal is. You've seen one naked lady. You've pretty much seen them all. Nothing new to see right here, right? Well, WWE decided, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we need to take care of this. We got to clean house. Now, WWE was approached to comment. They have declined to comment on the matter. Now, I don't know if that's the case for Fightful, as far as Fightful and whether or not they had reached out to WWE, but the New York Post, they did reach out to WWE, and WWE straight up declined to comment on the situation. So, you know, this is very, very what the fuck, I gotta say to you guys, because there's a couple of different ways that you can look at this, and I really hope that aspiring men, women, whether you're in the wrestling business, sports, entertainment, you know, I really hope that those aspiring to break out into the entertainment industry in general, I really hope they look at this example and use this example going forward to make sure that they don't put themselves in a delicate situation like this. And I'll explain a lot more later on. But there's a couple of different ways that you could look at this. On the one hand, you can look at this and you can say, yo, is it pretty fucked up that WWE released Mandy Rose? Because after all, when it's all said and done, this is a monster that you essentially created. This is what you created. Okay? Hey, sex sells. Hey, give us a little more seductiveness in the eyes. Give us that sultry look. Bite on that lip a little bit more. Pout that lip. You know, look sensual. Look like you just want to tear a person's clothes off when you look at the camera, and you know, wear this attire. This will really make your body look banging. When you do so much of that, eventually art will imitate life. Okay? That it will eventually cross over into real life. You cannot tell me otherwise. You cannot. I don't care in what genre you're in, there is eventually going to be some type of a overlap. But the very best of them, once they're able to catch themselves and realize, man, I'm blurring the lines here, I'm crossing over, and I kind of got to pump the brakes a little bit and stop myself from going too far. The very best know how to, okay, that's going to stay right there, and I'm keeping this over here. And unfortunately, in the case of Mandy Rose, you can make an argument that, yeah, it might have been separate for a little while, but you know, it eventually crossed over into her real life. And look, I'm not going to even speculate how much money she was potentially getting from the WWE, but I would like to believe, and I'm sure many of you guys would like to believe as well, that she was probably most likely getting paid some pretty good money from the company, right down to the point that essentially there was really no reason for her to be posting that type of content in the first place. You want to bring in some extra revenue on the new Triple H regime and everything? Man, they're allowing for you to do Twitch. They're allowing for you to do YouTube. They're allowing for you to do all these other things. And you decide, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. Yeah, it'd be easy for me to just wear a nice, tight little bra, push-up bra, be in front of a webcam and shoot the shit on Twitch or whatever, get a lot of donations, get a lot of this, get a lot of that. Most likely she would have killed it financially a lot more if she would have gone that route. We have seen a lot of great examples of wrestlers, female wrestlers particularly, who aren't even playing video games and they're just going live on Twitch. And you see them, I mean, it is going by like every freaking 10 to 60 seconds that they're getting some type of a donation, new subscriber, all that jazz. She probably most likely would have made more of a killing, but she chose to go this route. As fucked up as it is, you know, on the one hand, you can look at this and say, man, WWE is kind of wrong here, because look at essentially what they created here. They had a hand in this. She, 9 times out of 10, wasn't doing this years prior to her going down to NXT and doing the whole Toxic Attraction stable and everything, right? They had a hand in this. You could also look at this and you could say, God damn. And we'll know more as the week progresses. But I totally understand it if you guys are asking yourselves, wait a minute, this is pretty extreme to jump out there and just fire somebody. What about negotiating with them? What about saying to them, hey, look, we can't have you continuing to do this type of stuff right here. No, not on our watch. Now that, and look, how long has WWE known about it, if they've known at all? And if they have known for quite some time, was it a case where they were being hush-hush and they were saying, look, it's not really causing any harm right now, the content that's being posted, it's no big deal, we don't really need to trip over this, let's just look the other way on this? Or was it a case where they spoke with her before and said, hey, look, you know, we're aware of the content that you're posting and everything. You're not really coming across any problems right now. We highly recommend that you stop this before it could potentially get out of hand. Or just totally turn a blind eye. Or is it even remotely possible that WWE did not even know and ultimately they were blindsided by this? The latter seems to suggest that they were blindsided by this totally and everything. How is beyond me. How is beyond me, folks. But, you know, it's kind of fucked up when you look at this. I mean, one of the first things that comes to your mind, too, does anybody remember the SmackDown segment there where for a series of weeks, Mandy Rose was courting one of the Usos? Right down to the point, she had the Uso come up to her hotel room and she was in a nice black silky robe. And she was just, you know, doing a little bit of showboating, getting all up and close to Uso. She was feeling oh so oozy, was getting ready to let it all hang out. And the next thing you know, Naomi was there and she was whooping that Trick's ass. Right? All right, so this has been going on, to my point. This has been going on for quite a long fucking time, y'all. This has been going on for quite a long fucking time. But as time progressed, it's just gotten raunchier, 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 and raunchier. And here we are right now. So it's pretty fucked up that it went to these extreme lengths. That's the one side. The other side, you can look at it from a business standpoint. And as I'm always quick to tell you, I know you guys don't like hearing this. Seriously, especially you younger folks out there. I know a lot of you guys don't like hearing this, okay? But you look at it from a business standpoint. Hey, what are you doing? Per your contract, it says you put us in a difficult position. We have no choice. Our hands are tied. We can't do anything here, right? If it's, it really depends on the wording of the contract. And if I was able to some years back, but I would imagine there's been several revisions since, I will gladly, and we'll go over it more on the Wednesday night show after Dynamite is off the air. But I'm very curious the new language that's going on in these contracts, especially as far as the loophole in which WWE took to say, no, Mandy, you're done, right? So, but, you look at it from a legality standpoint, and WWE basically being in the position that they're in. See, this runs so much more than just, can't you make an exception from a legality standpoint? No. Because if you don't send a strong message right then and there, no matter who that talent is, that no. This type of behavior is unacceptable, and we're not going to allow this to happen on our watch, because heaven forbid we don't do any type of hard disciplinary action, then other people are going to get the idea that this is something that they can do as well, and it's okay because they won't get in trouble. So I know you guys probably don't like that answer, but that's also how you have to look at things from a business standpoint. Just imagine if you are your own entrepreneur. You have your own respected business, and you have an employee that is pretty much, hey, what they do on their spare time, is respectfully their spare time and everything. But heaven forbid you find out that on the weekends they participate in recording sessions for the porn industry. Okay, they're in front of the camera. They're not behind the camera. They're in front of the camera, and you find out about the stage name that they go under, and you find out tons of freaking content that's out there on them and everything, and you're like, oh my god, right? And it's right down to the point where they may not be up there with a Peter North or a Shawn Michaels. They may not be up there with a fucking Nina Hartley, but there is so much content out there of them that, you're like, man, this is really putting me in a very difficult position. What do I do here? Do I continue to have this person remain on my payroll? You know what I'm saying? Or, and by the way, we are streaming on multiple outlets right now. We're not just streaming on Facebook. We're also streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitter. We're streaming on Twitch. And right now, look, we're about a couple of hours late from when this news had initially broke down. But as it stands right now that we're live in real time, we've got a grand total of about, I'm seeing 25 people that's tuning in right now. And I appreciate that for honestly a early afternoon when most people are still at work. Some people are coming out of school and everything. I appreciate that. So do me a huge solid. If you guys have been enjoying what I've been saying so far, definitely go out of your way and smash that like button. Help a brother out. Really helps me out a ton and everything. But real talk here. This is so fucked up. Seriously, this is a weird position that this girl has put herself in. Seriously, but you understand the analogy that I just used? you know, your boss, you're your own boss. You got your own business. You find out that one of your respected employees is operating in this type of fashion. Nobody wants to be in that position, but goddamn, man, you don't have no choice. You unfortunately, your hands are tied. And if it's going to be a distraction, you feel where I'm coming from? If it's going to be a distraction, if it is going to interfere with your respected place of business, then you've got to do what you need to do to separate yourself from that controversy and keep it moving along. And that's exactly what WWE had found themselves in, and they took the appropriate action. I actually want to load up some of you guys' comments, but definitely chime on in, because I see what Steven is saying in the chat, and I definitely want to show him some love. I'm going to load up these chat comments in a second here. Load up these chat comments in a second here, and bear with me so we can get that rocking and rolling for you guys. But it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Steven says it best. You can see that right there in black and white. Lee, man. Mandy Rose losing her job for nothing. Now she just has to sit at home on the sideline. To the point that I made earlier at the very start of this breaking news piece, which is, goddamn, that is just to go into the holidays. There is no worse feeling in the world. I've only experienced it one time in my over 40 years of walking on God's green earth. There is no worse feeling in the world than when you go into the holiday season, particularly Christmas week, right? Leading up to Christmas. Hell, going into New Year's. There's no worse feeling in the world than when you are out of a job, because one of the first things that clicks in your head is, goddamn, man, I'm not going to be able to get XYZ gifts for the family now, because I need every single dollar that's coming to me so that I'll have my rent, or I'll have my mortgage, or, I'll have this, I'll have that. Right? Now and then what you're also thinking about is, oh man, I've got to hurry up and I've got to try to find another job ASAP because, sorry about that. I got to try to find another job ASAP because this money that I have is going to disappear eventually. And Jesus Christ, right? You don't want that financial hardship, and I don't think that's going to be the case with Mandy Rose whatsoever. I mean, she seems like a smart young woman when it's all said and done, and I honestly feel that and I hope she has. I'd be shocked to hear differently, but she seems like a smart type of cat that has done her very best to put enough money to the side to, case of a rainy day and all of that. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Now, let me get you guys caught up to speed. There's a little bit more details I want to share with you guys in regards to this and everything, right? So, I mean, look, on the one hand, you're looking at Mandy Rose. She's been with WWE since, 2015, right? Since 2015. Remember, she competed in the 6th season of WWE Tough Enough. And then she had signed with the company after she had, second place that she got in? I remember watching that respected season, and I felt, this is the one. She could definitely go all the way. And even though she had came pretty much in the final 3, I definitely felt, we haven't seen the last of her. She's definitely going to be resurfacing somewhere in WWE, and sure enough, she did. And remember, she was down there in WWE NXT wing the first rodeo. She was down there for a few years before she got moved up to the main roster where, Absolution, before Toxic Attraction. A lot of people forget about that. Before Toxic Attraction, it was Absolution, and it was her, Saraya, aka Paige, and Sonya Deville. That's why when, it's funny because you could tell who's been watching the WWE product long enough and who hasn't. And when you see, oh, Sonya Deville, Toxic Attraction, like we veterans, we know the history very well. We're going, oh yeah, okay, they're doing a little bit of an Absolution reunion here. Okay, all right, cool, cool, cool. But remember, Mandy didn't really start to break out and everything, not really until she was doing her thing there with Otis. That's when Heavy Machinery, remember that? That's when things had really, oh, hey, this is kind of interesting what we have going on here with Otis and Mandy. And we never did see the proper bookend to that. We never did get that. And call me a dreamer, but I was hoping that eventually when Toxic Attraction would come up on the main roster, I was actually hoping for that little crossover eventually between those two, that little bit of a nod to just plant the seeds there that, yeah, yes, there's history here, and who knows, maybe eventually we'll get a Mandy Rose that'll come back as a baby face, maybe somehow Otis, right, and her, and, yeah, right? That was me being a wishful dreamer, but, you remember that. And then you think about when she and DeVille, they had broke off and they were doing these weird teams. What else had happened there? Wasn't there a loser leaves town match that happened at SummerSlam? And Mandy Rose had won that. I think that was between her and Sonya Deville, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just looking at what is going on in the chat, just in case there's some weird spam crap that's going on there. And you think about when she had returned to NXT back in 2021, summer of 2021, and you first saw her down there, you're like, oh, she's going back. Okay, well, you know what? Let's see what she's going to be able to do this go round. Let's see what happens with her this rodeo. And you know what? She has taken advantage of every single opportunity in NXT that was provided to her, and then some, to the moon and back. She fucking crushed it. We were just on here a little bit over 24 hours ago talking about how Mandy Rose was probably, you could make an argument that she was the way she was building up her resume thus far, that she was a modern day Trish Stratus. That is exactly how you could have looked at just the trajectory that she was on and everything. And man, to be put in a position where, okay, we see your potential, we're going to run with you, let's go ahead, let's go there. You have this NXT Women's Championship. What was the fucking number? I mean, 413 days. 413 days as the NXT Women's Champion. Longest reign for a women's champion. Only 32 years old. And this is pretty much how you go out and everything. We haven't seen the end of Mandy Rose when it's all said and done. I'm letting you guys know that right now. We have not seen the end of her. She's going to rebound quite nicely, I personally feel. Now, look, I know a lot of people are going to be like, WWE, okay, whatever. AEW, Impact Wrestling, NWA, New Japan. Yeah, honestly, I'll tell you what is potentially next for Mandy Rose. I'm going to give it to you guys right between the eyes. I do not see it being wrestling. At this point, I would be extremely, extremely shocked if she were to go back and continue on with wrestling. First of all, there's a couple of things with that. First of all, find me a wrestling promotion, a major wrestling promotion. Let me back that up and let me clarify. Find me a wrestling promotion. I'm getting a call from the wifey. Hang on a second here. Find me a major wrestling promotion that is going to look past, oh, you were doing this over here as far as adult content and Yeah, no, we're cool with that. You can keep on doing that. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to, right? You can't. Okay, I don't see Tony Khan and crew. Yeah, you could keep on doing that raunchy content. That's fine. Keep doing it. I don't see Tony Khan going in that direction. Scott D'Amore, Impact, I don't see that. Billy Corgan, hell no. I don't see any of those guys going in that direction. Could I potentially see these guys say, okay, look, we're aware about this X-rated content, R-rated content that you were posting. Are you going to continue to do that? Because if so, that's going to be a major deal breaker for us. Don't really feel too comfortable being associated with that. Are you totally done? Now, if it's a case where she's like, yes, I'm willing to fully commit, I'm willing to be totally done with that, yeah, I'm way past that. Don't have to worry about it. Not doing anything behind the scenes. But then even at that, she does not strike me as somebody that is going to continue on in the wrestling industry. The only way I see it happening is if she truly has a love for the business. She respects the hell out of the industry and she wants to continue to stay involved. That's the only way I can see her doing this. And the reason why I'm in that direction is because 32 years of age, with her looks, the number of publications that she has appeared on in the past for health, fitness magazines, expos, things of that nature, she can easily go out there and fucking kill it as far as going into the modeling industry, definitely being a stunt double. She could easily go, and with her looks, she could have some little minor scenes in some movies, some TV shows, things of that nature. I can see her break out big time. I'm not saying she's going to be the next Angelina Jolie or anything like that. What I am saying, though, is all the respected connections that she has been able to establish all those years that she's been with WWE, the only way I can see her going back to wrestling is if she did the opposite. And she did not make it be her business to be in contact with who's who, knows who's who in the entertainment industry, and pretty much when a day like this comes, have those contacts ready and okay, let's go. The other thing that has me saying, yeah, I just don't see it happening with her in another major wrestling promotion. Know your worth. Know your value. I think that those that's going to be asking her if she's willing to make an appearance for this indie fed over here or disrespected, I don't see it being a case where, yeah, sure, meet this price. I see her asking price being very astronomical, out the fucking yin yang. I'm talking, if not, remember we were talking about Sasha Banks' price for those New Japan Pro Wrestling appearances. Reportedly, she's going to be making more than what Jericho was doing. And Jericho was doing an easy $100,000 per appearance. And supposedly Sasha Banks is going to be making more than Jericho. I just feel that Mandy Rose is probably going to be asking for that Sasha Banks money, if not a lot more. And as a result of that, that's where, right, you might have 500 feds that's going to be hitting you up, but out of those 500 feds, maybe it's going to come down to about 10 that seriously is going to be willing to meet your asking price. They're very serious about it, and then it becomes, okay, so do you really want to do something with these guys, or you just want to keep it moving along, right? But I don't see her doing any. I'd be shocked. I got to be honest with you guys. I'd be very shocked to see her continue on in the wrestling industry with everything that I just said. Now, I want to end it on this note. Whether you are aspiring wrestler, actor, musician, you just want to be involved with the arts in general, I have a golden rule for you guys. And this has always, 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 always helped me in life, especially when it came to the introduction of social media. And it's this. I've been saying it over and over for years. Longtime listeners know exactly what I'm getting ready to say. Newer listeners, welcome. It's quite simple. When I'm texting and I'm getting ready to post that thing on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, I purposely stop myself before I hit that post, that send button. And I look at what I have typed up. Or I look at, whatever photo in question. Oh, does this come off as an abusive photo? Does this come off, right? If I even have to hesitate for a fraction of a second, any type of hesitation, I'm not posting it. That's enough for me. I treat it no different than when I look at who's in my respected NBA Hall of Fame? Who is in my respected NFL Hall of Fame? You throw a name at me and I can just, at the drop of a dime, I can just go Hall of Fame without a doubt. Kobe Bryant, Hall of Fame. Shaquille O'Neal, for sure, Hall of Fame. Kwame Brown, no. Right? You throw a name out there, was like, how about just that little twitch of a hesitation? Like, that's enough. No, I'm not going there. It also pays to make sure that you're really stopping and you're listening to what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart. If your head and your heart is telling you one thing, you should probably follow those instincts and probably not go that route. Easier said than done, because our significant others, our friends, you know how it can be when we get around those that is within our inner circle. We can pretty much, not really think things through correctly, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the fiance, oh, babe, that looks so goddamn fucking sexy. Oh, man, let me take a couple of pictures. Oh, come on, it's just a picture. Come on, it's just for me. It's just for me. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Oh, hey, man, wouldn't it be great if you posted this on social media? Man, you're missing out on some extra money there, man. Ah, come on, what's the harm in that? What's the harm in that? Oh, come on, honey, it's okay. It's not like you're actually showing your nipples. Just cover them up. It's all good. Come on. Show off your body a little bit. Don't worry. Nobody won't see your nipples. Oh, honey, it's not actual penetration. Now, I'm not trying to say that's what the fiance. I'm just demonstrating to you all how easy it can be to be influenced by others when, it's a case where you're already thinking one way. You already know how you need to be operating. But when you're getting around that circle of family, friends, persuasion is definitely at an all-time high, right? That's how it is in a nutshell. So I really hope that this is a teachable lesson for a lot of folks here, and don't go down this path. Seriously, don't go down this path. Do any and everything else. If you ask me personally, I think it's fucked up. Just my personal 2 cents from a distance. I think it's fucked up. I think she should still have a job. Honestly, I think a suspension would have been just fine. Have her off TV for 2-3 months. Whatever X amount of money she was able to generate during that time that she was messing around with this particular site, I think that should have been deducted from her contract. Assuming that she didn't get all that money at once. Here's the thing that's the real kicker. She had revealed in a recent interview that she had just re-upped her deal with WWE. She had just inked a 5-year deal with WWE. And you're going, man, are you serious? You're going to fuck with your paper like that? Yo, as soon as I would have inked that deal, I'm sure anybody else as well. As soon as we would have inked that deal, that new deal, that 5-year deal, obviously getting more money. Oh, fuck this. Close that shit down. We're good. We don't need that no more. Shut it down. Pull a John Taffer. Shut that shit down. So this is it really sucks to hear about people still relatively young, right? She's early 30s. To learn a lesson like this. Hopefully it's the last one she's going to have to learn and everything, right? Seriously. But don't operate this way, folks. Seriously. Do not operate this way because it's going to always come back to fucking bite you in the ass when you least fucking expect it. But she's going to be just fine. Seriously, she's going to be just fine. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to, because, you know, we still got a decent amount of people that's tuned in right now across different platforms. I want to know what you guys think about this situation. I know Steven had chimed off already. So, you know, you guys that's still around, give me your thoughts. You for or against what happened there with Mandy Rose? What do you see her doing next? What would you as a fan like to see happen next with her and her career? Do you agree with my assessment that kind of seems like maybe she's done with wrestling as a whole? Maybe she's going to move on to some modeling, you know, continue that on, health and fitness, maybe do some stuff in Hollywood. Do you see some stuff like that going down, or what say you? Definitely sound off. I'm very curious where you guys stand on that. And if you are new, welcome. If you have not done so already, definitely hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the great content that comes your way on a weekly basis. So newer folks, we've been at this since 2011, and we have been killing it as far as social media goes, man. The Facebook page has now surpassed 14,000 followers. You heard me right. The Facebook page has surpassed 14,000 followers. It's got almost 6,500 likes. So that's awesome. We are creeping up on 12,500 subs on YouTube. I'm hoping that, I don't think it's going to happen before this calendar year is out. So I'm already looking at, okay, let's see if we can kind of push that along before spring of 2023. Let's see if we can potentially break 13,000. See, I don't want to just hit 13,000 and then it's kind of stagnant. I want to hurry up and get out of the 13,000 range because I don't like 13. 13 is, I don't, you know, it's kind of, I know it's superstitious and all that, silly me, you could say, but I don't like the idea of just staying at 13. I want to get a little bit more than that. So, but we've been crushing it, man. So some quick programming notes. We're definitely going to be back on the air later tonight after AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Remember, they're going to be doing their Winter is Coming event. Main event match is going to be featuring Ricky Starks taking on MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So we'll be getting into that. William Regal has opened up in a recent interview with the guys, good guys over there at Inside the Ropes, and put some nice little nuggets of information out there that had some people misinterpret his time in WWE and just who had a hand in releasing him in the first place. That had got, it was weird seeing that go down in real time, folks. It really, really was. We'll talk more about that though, and some other good headlines with you guys. And then pretty much that is going to be our final show for this week, because afterwards, I think I got to get with the wifey, but I think something is developing going into the weekend where I'm I'm probably going to be doing some traveling. I tried to clarify a few things, and shit is in the air right now. She's being very tight-lipped, so I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's all I got to say in regards to that. Meanwhile, being kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads. Really, you guys that's tuning, look, it's still kind of like during the work hour, but really, other than Steven, nobody else has anything to say. I'm looking all across the platforms, and we still are maintaining the viewership across all the platforms. Nobody has anything to say about the Mandy Rose situation. I'm going to assume those of you that's watching right now, it's because you're at work, you're maybe at school, you can't really be on the device doing your little typing. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. I'm assuming that's what's going on here, right? Come on, I want you guys to chime in. This is your opportunity now to sound off, see your comments get posted on the stream here real quick. And before we shut it down, because good God Almighty, I pretty much talked about this whole thing for almost 50 minutes. And other than Steven chiming in, come on, give me something. What did you guys make about all of this that had went down? Sound off. How about you guys? I'll give you guys a 2-minute warning. How about that? I'll give you guys a 2-minute warning, and then that'll pretty much be the end of it. But yeah, honestly, I was kicking back today. I was going through a bunch of exams for some of my classes. My sociology class has me kind of biting my nails right now because I'm just looking at that going, I'm not stressing. At this point, I'm hoping that, okay, so the placement grade, my midterm grade for sociology, I was looking at a B as in boy. I'm going, okay, great. But every time I've been hit with these tests, I have not been doing well on the tests. Written assignments, never missed a class, participating every single time I enter, solid A at that. So I didn't do that good on the exam. So I'm like wondering now, so what's my final grade going to be? Is it going to be a C plus or a C? If it can at least be a C, let me tell you something. Sociology is a fucking tough ass class. It is extremely tough. I had the right professor, very energetic, charismatic. But of all the classes, all the exams, that's the one that I'm a little bit nervous about. But yeah, I was kicking back, taking it easy. Missed the breaking news on Mandy when it initially went down. And once I had found out what was going on, I said, okay, well, you know what? Let me just put my 2 cents in there, share with you guys what's up. And pretty much was taking it from there. So hang on here. Let me do this. Because I will admit, this app that I'm using to see you guys' comments, not all of them are kicking in. There are usually a boatload of comments that I somehow miss because of this side app that I'm using. So let me see if you guys have said anything additionally here. Nope, you guys aren't saying anything additionally. So you know what? I'll say this. If you're going to be checking this out for on demand and on the downloads, then definitely, particularly on demand, you're going to be watching the video stream on demand. Post your comments. I will read and I will respond to every single comment that's out there. And in the meantime, I'm going to say that is going to do it. Please, if you enjoyed a lot of the points that I had brought up and you haven't done so already, would help me out a ton. Just hit the like button. Helps me be able to continue to create more content for you guys. And it also will put me in a position where collectively, by you guys smashing the likes and all that, it can help other people be able to discover the content better with ease. To you longtime supporters, appreciate the love and the support as always. To the haters out there, because we did have a couple of haters that were in the comment section earlier there. It's like, dude, seriously, when you get a hater, you just gotta brush them off. Like, life is too short to be, You know, I treat people the way I want to be treated, and that's with respect. That's how I do it, right? Yeah, I keep it moving along. Get at your man on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. Till next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see some of you guys after AEW Dynamite at 10 p.m. Eastern. Take care.